You are now listening to the Cut and Caliber Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cut and Caliber Podcast. I am one half of the podcast, Stephen Cornfield, and today we have a little bit of a different podcast for you. So what we did, and I will say this in the podcast as well, but what we did is we went to a local restaurant with our good friend Casey Mack from Mack Provisions, located in Juneau, Alaska. He's a leather worker, and we wanted to figure out what he's been doing to kind of succeed at his business. And so we picked his brain, but we did it in a public spot and in a great location. We were having some coffee, we had some food, it was just a good time. So you'll hear everybody around and the servers and whatnot, but it kind of brings you into the experience. So I hope you enjoy it. If you do, let us know. But without further ado, let's get to the podcast.
So let's just give the people a little behind the scenes of what's going on. So we're at the Rustic Goat right now.
In Anchorage, Alaska.
Located in Midtown. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to do these. What?
It's West Side.
Is it Midtown?
This is. I lived here. I would
This
assume.
is West.
I would assume this is like part of Midtown. It's right there.
Midtown is Fred Meyer's Northern Lights.
Yeah, Northern Lights.
Oh, you think it's over? Okay, well, whatever. I always said Midtown's this way. So if you guys ganging up on me already, I'm gonna just hit.
This is how it's
stop.
gonna go.
I'm gonna hit stop.
Done.
And I'm just gonna leave.
We're gonna leave.
Maybe you could head over to Midtown.
Okay, maybe we'll start that again. We're at Rustic Goat, and we want to do these things called like coffee conversation, and just have friends come over, and it's just a special one. So we're not really going to do these a whole lot.
Only very special people can be a part of these.
Only very special people.
Right.
And speaking of special people, we have Casey Mack. Now, not Casey, but K-C.
2 letters.
Yeah, I really like that because it's like George R.R. Martin or
Right.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
K-C
Kendrick.
Mack.
What's the K stand for?
Not a thing. My folks knew I wouldn't be able to spell, so they made it easy.
They just made
Oh,
it
so
really
that's your...
KC.
No way. I always thought it was just like a nickname.
So looking at an ID,
really-
it really is.
Casey,
really is Casey.
Michael Mack.
Kansas City, Michael Mack.
Casey? Yeah, no, my dad's name is Keith, and my mom's name is Carol.
Oh.
That's how they got the
Hey, my
Case.
mom's name is Carol too.
No
Shout out
way.
to our moms.
Mommy, what's up?
Yeah, it's Mother's Day too. So
Soon.
Well, soon, yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget,
I
everybody.
won't forget, Mom, if
Yeah.
you're listening. I do every year.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have friends come over and probably do it the Rustic Goat. I just love the Rustic Goat. Get coffee, get beers, food, whatever we want. Just have a conversation. So there's no topic. We're not gonna like.
There's
whatever,
no agenda.
Yeah, whatever comes out is gonna come out, and we're not gonna edit this. Nah, we might. We'll protect you.
Yeah.
If you say something stupid, we'll protect you. Actually, it's more for me,
Yeah.
really. If I say something stupid, I'll protect myself. Like, ooh, Stephen, you should probably not have said that.
And then there's just going to be a big gap of silence.
What happens when somebody swears?
Swearing is
I'm okay with
Swearing
swearing,
is
man. Yeah. Like,
But-
I don't, and I was just talking to my mom about this the other day, because I wrote this new article, and I put 2 swear words in it. Because I was like,
which ones?
Yeah, say them out loud.
the F word. The F word.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Not
I know. So I was just like,
What kind of content?
I was just kind of, it was, what is it?
Like F you or?
No, it was
no,
more
no,
like
no.
get it effing done.
Yeah,
kind of.
thing like that. And I don't swear in my vlogs. I don't really swear
No, I haven't seen that.
on the
Family friendly.
podcast.
No.
I don't really, but I swear in like talking in conversation.
Right.
And so I was just kind of, stream of consciousness and just like, I'm just gonna like write it all out, and then
Right.
what came out, and I sent it to my mom for proofreading and editing. She's an English teacher, and she's not one for swearing, and so
She mailed you a Bible.
she talked me out of it. She talked me out of it. She mailed me a Bible.
Yeah.
Mom, I'll just add that to my
Well,
collection.
yeah, that's why most people in like that lecture and stuff like that, that's why they swear, is because it gets people's attention.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
right.
And she came to me and she said,
Preachers, take note.
Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
No, she said like she's like it was. I didn't expect it because you don't in anything
Do
else
that
you don't do
typically.
that.
Yeah.
And so she's like it kind of took me out of it, and I was more thinking about that than I was thinking about the concert.
Sure.
Especially in the
All right.
written word too.
Yeah, 'cause
you
that's
see
their-
it. It's permanent.
Yeah, your peripherals will always see that word as you keep going down the article.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, that's why I watched that Tony Robbins documentary, and they're like, if you watch him, he's very polished
Right.
and everything like that, but when he gets up in front of people, it's like a torrent of obscenities.
Really?
Like over and over again. Because
it gets people's attention.
people like start listening.
Yeah.
And it's more of a psychological thing than it is anything else.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
like,
I tend to listen to people more when they're swearing.
Right, when you hear something, you're like, oh, gee, okay, yeah. So
Yeah, we're on that level.
it's something to keep in mind. But
Yeah. So, all right, enough about that, Casey.
enough about cussing.
Casey,
Yeah.
you live in Juneau. You used to live in Anchorage.
Used to live here. Used to live in Midtown. But now,
Is it?
I'm confused what that means now.
where's
I
it
hate
at?
you guys already. I freaking hate you.
Yeah, no, just off Northern Lights. But yeah, recently moved back to.
What was
Juneau.
your address?
Street
Just kidding.
three.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
My old landlords would not like that.
Yeah, I thought you were
Nobody would like that.
east side, though.
No, just Northern Lights by the school district.
Yeah. Man, I thought, regardless.
Regardless,
So,
we're gonna be doing a podcast. We're recording right now, but yeah, you guys want to get coffees or something?
yeah, I
Coffee's
could use a coffee.
Yeah.
Americano. Yes, please.
Yeah, we're gonna do it for here. We're gonna be, I don't know, probably 6 hours or so. Is that cool?
So,
That's cool. Are you trying to get out of here?
No, I'm like here for the next 2 hours actually.
Okay.
So 3 Americanos?
I'm gonna get such good.
Sliders?
Yeah.
Americano. Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
classic.
Classic.
So why don't you tell us, we already know, but about what you do.
Tell the people what they want to know.
Tell 'em- Well,
They want to know about KC.
You're
Kansas
married.
City.
I am married.
Not
yes.
available.
Not available, guys. Sorry. Or gals. Yep, no, I have my wife. That's why we originally moved from Juneau to Anchorage. She went to the nursing school at UAA and
Right on, represent.
represent UAA.
Seawolf for life.
See Wolf? Yeah.
Never
we
went.
We went to, never
Don't
went.
care.
Never-
Don't care.
You know, I went to UAS and I regret. never
UAS.
going. Yeah, in Juneau, University of Alaska Southeast.
Southeast.
Oh, I didn't know. I
What
didn't
is their mascot?
No, it wasn't UAS.
It's a whale.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go. What's your chant? Go Whales.
No, there's not even sports.
No.
Is that
what a whale sounds
It's
like?
like the Dory thing from Finding Nemo.
I don't know.
Well,
Have you never seen Finding Nemo?
I've watched part of it.
Oh my goodness.
that is a scene in there.
You know what? Cut this off. We're gonna watch it.
Done.
Where
Yeah.
I'll
Throw
pull it
that-
up on my phone.
Throw it in the mix when,
Yeah.
we go down.
Yeah.
Then we'll know.
Then we'll know.
Because
Yeah.
what Fairbanks is the Nanuks.
Nanook, yeah.
Yeah.
Nanooks, yeah. Which is what? A wolf?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with them all. I just know the names. But
Yeah.
anyways. so you do-
Unfortunately, I went to college
yeah. I think
and have now student debt, so that sucks.
I'm 50-50 on it. How happy I am I went to college.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I that was one of the worst decisions of my life.
was to go.
Well, not just to go to college, but I went to music school. So that was a poor decision on my part. Even though,
Like what? Waste of money or what?
because I've changed my focus on stuff.
Yeah. Looking back now, it's a mistake.
Right.
But at the time,
At
it
the time,
wasn't.
I wanted to be a rock star. That's what I
Right.
was. And so,
So you had to go to
No,
school for that?
Well,
Went to school.
you know,
Is there rock
kinda.
star class, guys?
The school I went to is almost like school for rock stars. Like
School for rock.
What
Like
school?
that.
almost like that. So it's called Visible Music School, Visible Music College. I think they changed the name since I was
Right.
there, but it's located in downtown Memphis, and
Tennessee.
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah.
at the time.
We swung by there, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, because we went. Yeah.
It started by Skillet, the first guitar player.
Oh, right.
He started this school. So it's actually a Christian music college. So they teach you Bible, but they also teach you your craft. So my craft was going to be guitar. And so what we would do is they would put us in a room, with a bunch of other guitar players, and we would learn stuff, and then the whole week we had to write a song based off of like, you know, the scales that we learned or whatever. But then also we do this thing called ensemble. So they take a bass major, they take a guitar major, they take a singing major, and a drum major, and they put us all together. And either we write songs or we you know, cover songs or whatever, and then we have to perform in front of the whole school. So there's like around 100 kids only. So it was like a very like, you know, very smaller school, and it's still this way. It's like 100 kids, that's it, no more. And it's
How
kind of
did
cool.
you not like that?
Well, I loved it. Let's say that. As far as like
Usefulness now.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
like I don't really even like play guitar. Like I started making music production when I was there, so that was like my starting point for like creating music on computer.
On a computer, which you use now every week.
Right. Well, not now.
not now.
I'm stopping making music every week. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude.
I go on SoundCloud every week just to see
there's still over 52 songs for you to choose from. And
You can download them for free.
right,
free.
yeah.
And I use them for
Little
free.
plug. I didn't even. This is turning more into what I'm doing and what I was doing. But yeah. So no more music. It's just like it's so much more efficient to like. So instead of like, all right, I film it, I gotta make a song, and making a song sometimes can be like an hour to 8 hours. But I gotta finish the song before I start editing the video. So now I'm just like, okay,
Yeah, because your video's to the tempo of that song.
bingo, right?
Yeah.
And so now I just go out and I go download free music to use, and then edit that way. So like I'm almost done. Like I started editing this morning the new vlog, and I'm almost done already.
Yeah.
Just because it's so much
A
more.
lot
today?
easier when you don't have to write.
Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
This Sunday.
This
Almost
is
done?
recording on a Sunday. Well, I started it this morning too.
Yeah, but you usually start on Sundays, right?
Yeah, I usually like it depends on what
That's
I
the
did for the
workflow.
weekend before. Yeah.
What
right.
time did you wake up today?
Ooh, today
Ooh,
was
that's
a little,
another thing.
Today was a little rough. I went out and I was out late last night filming Adventure Club, which was awesome. I got some sweet shots, but I was out late. So
I already know you're an early bird, right? Casey?
I'm an early bird.
yeah.
but-
So actually, this is one thing I wanted to talk about.
Wait, let's clarify.
Yeah.
I've listened to every podcast.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
you.
we also have to
That's why I'm
establish
one.
what Casey does with Mack Provisions, so
Yeah.
people know what you do.
So what I do? Okay.
Yeah.
So-
tell us about Mack Provisions.
So I own a company called Mack Provisions, and my bread and butter is taking vintage baseball mitts, which is under the category of 1940s to 1960s gloves, that old,
Yeah.
and repurpose them and turn them into wallets. So
But you don't just do wallets. You do beer koozies.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Saw
I mean
that one.
that's something really cool you just did. So Alaskan
coming
Brewery, you're collaborating with them on making them leather beer koozies.
Right,
Now,
yeah.
They're not made out of the mitts, but
no,
it's
brand new
really
hide.
cool.
Yeah, new hide, but it's like the best hide I can find. They work well. I made 72 of them, and hopefully this coming week when I get back home, I'll deliver them and they'll be
Awesome.
on their
So
website.
well done.
Yeah. So
Well
I
done.
not just baseball glove, but that's primarily where I'm at. But
Yeah.
I make
All for it.
wallets. Yeah.
You made me a cigar or a pipe tobacco
yeah,
pouch.
that's right.
I still
yeah.
have that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you're like, but your main focus is like the baseball. That's
Yeah.
like where you're seeing the most traction.
Yeah, and that's where I see my traction, just because it's Americana,
Right.
and that's big. Baseball.
Americana. Sorry.
Where's our Americana?
Where's
Speaking
our
of-
Americana?
Hold on. Yeah,
What?
they're busy.
I
They're
know.
busy.
They're busy.
So, do you still think baseball is America's pastime?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
do I think it is, or do I
No.
hope to think that it is?
Sludge is.
Sludge.
You got a Sludge
This is
Coat?
Americano.
No, that's a sludge.
Okay.
I made 2 sludges.
Oh,
No,
it's fine.
That works. That's
Yeah.
yeah, black's good. Yeah.
You like
Yeah,
sludge?
you can have it.
All right.
Get that
I'm
caffeine.
gonna be jacked up.
Dude,
Get it.
by the end of this podcast, constantly go, hey, is that?
Hey everybody, did you know what I do? I do lots of things.
Get a little extra gum shot.
Yeah.
That's what I usually drink. Sludge cup.
Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you
Nada.
very much.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
So,
Look at these cups too.
I know.
Dude, I know it. That's why I love it here.
The
'cause,
silverware and everything.
I mean,
dishes.
we're kind of backtracking a little bit, but we are right in the bar area of Rustic Goat, like in the middle of everything. And it's just kind of cool. We got like these
And we have a
huge windows.
microphone set up. We have a
Yeah.
laptop set up. We have camera set up.
Nah,
Completely
why is
normal.
video camera?
Sadly
Completely
enough,
normal.
This is my first time here.
Really?
I've never been here. My wife
Even
and
when I worked here, you never came over? Oh, for sure.
You know, when the missus was, in school, budget gets tight, so going out is harder and harder to do.
Yeah.
But now I'm here.
Yeah.
Now she's going to be a nurse with a purse, man.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
does that
and she
mean?
often
A
smacks
nurse with
me.
a purse?
She smacks me around.
Is that
with
money?
it.
Okay. I
Making
wasn't
that
sure.
money.
I wasn't sure if that was like
Making that money.
a nurse.
You know, your wife's one.
My wife's a nurse.
Where's she
Yeah.
at?
She's at a clinic of Providence right now, allergy, asthma, immunology clinic.
Oh, cool.
So, and that's something I am like, I never
Wow.
thought I'd be intrigued in.
Allergies?
Allergies.
Wow.
But
I should see her.
I'm going to go get patch tests. That's what I'm going to
Do you have bad allergies?
do. No, I just want to know if I'm allergic to anything.
I get every seasonal allergies. So if I had seasonal allergies, would I go see her?
Yeah. So you're probably just recycling what she says to me all the time is you probably have birch allergies.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thanks, man.
Wow. Great.
Do you want some
I'll
leche?
take a little creme. But yeah, then
Oh, look at that milk coming.
yeah, the whole nursing, it's nice. They're
great.
always going to have a job.
It's the medical field is crazy.
I know.
mean, she can't tell me much from work, just because of HIPAA laws. But
Yeah, HIPAA is
it's
serious.
serious stuff. So she's always adamantly saying, "I can't tell you stuff," and
So she could actually work for the CIA too,
Oh,
because
right.
she's good at keeping secrets.
she's a good secret keeper.
That's what I feel like
I
they-
hope she's not listening to this.
Yeah.
In retrospect, and
Looking at
smacking me
that
around
out.
with her
We can
money
edit
purse.
that out.
Well, I mean, it's a serious thing. Like when you're in the medical field, HIPAA, like you can't say names of anybody,
No,
any
or they're even what
anything.
they're sick of.
Like you can't talk of any client, patients.
unless they die.
HIPAA. Backtrack. I was away.
Right.
HIPAA is what?
Basically, in a nutshell, people that work for hospitals,
Patient confidentiality.
It's a patient confidentiality thing. They can't mention names, can't tell you anything regarding
Okay.
a patient. So I was saying she'd be a perfect candidate for the CIA because, like, I feel like they can't hire people in the CIA that are going to be like, guess what? I know all the secrets, and
Especially
I'm
about
going to tell.
especially all
I
this
could never-
leaking
I
that's
could
going
never
on
work.
right now.
I could never work for the CIA.
Yeah.
Be like, Steven, what do you do for work? Oh man, today we had a sweet case, dude. Nobody else knows about it, so you're getting an
Don't
inside
tell a
scoop.
soul.
Oh, you work for the press? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Perfect. You think this will help my blog?
I work for the CIA to advance my blog.
Yeah. It was a whole. I went
Today,
through
guys, I'm in Langley.
Yeah.
And we're gonna meet with the CIA.
Area 51. Let's go in.
I have a hidden camera. But,
Yeah. That is something. So
but yeah, long story short, she has a money purse.
that's
Yeah.
what I
And
mean.
she often
Full
smacks me
circle back
around
to
with
the
it.
money.
And then she's like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I'm still making all the baseball balls."
No.
Be like, it's not the same as being a nurse. but
One hobby, she makes fun of me about this, but one hobby I picked up is pickleball.
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 I know about this game.
Have you played?
I haven't played, but
Oh,
isn't
man.
it like it's not ball?
It's not volleyball.
Not like handball.
It's sort of like handball, except you don't have a wall.
Right.
So it's like
you slam a ball with a pickle. That's what I. That's
You
my,
actually throw the pickle
Yeah.
in your. That's,
Well, that's-
the thing.
that's actually
You're
the
trying to
ball.
avoid.
avoid the pickle.
that's
Oh, he
awful.
took a pickle
Is
to
it
the
awful?
face.
I would really enjoy that.
That'd be a fun
I'd
game.
watch that on ESPN.
Yeah.
That'd be my new favorite sport.
I have to tell you what I watched last night after
Oh,
you tell
here we
about
go.
pickleball.
No, let's hear.
So On Demand has the Ocho, ESPN Ocho.
What is that?
Mexican channel, right?
Well, no, it's the one that.
Is that like-
Ocho is 8, but yes. So
It
it's
was
the one
in,
that
like,
made fun of dodgeball.
That's right.
So it's like the sports that aren't like
Sports.
real sports.
Right.
They're not the top
Oh.
sports. So it's like
Like dodgeball.
trampoline stunts or like competition.
Oh, dope.
Ultimate dodgeball where you play on the trampolines and bounce off the walls and you're like in
Those
a
are
close
so-
quarters.
that's
And this is
cool, but-
real.
I watched the whole thing. I watched an hour and a half of it. I was
And
voting.
it was the highlights?
It was like the actual finals. So it was the semifinals to the finals.
Oh, for the dodgeball.
Ultimate dodgeball in Vegas, I think.
Is it as cool as I think it is? I
No.
played dodgeball with trampolines, like at Get Air or something like that in
Yeah,
town.
where you can like bounce off
and
the
it's
walls.
awesome.
Right.
So much fun to do.
And I mean, It's like one of those sports where the rules are kind of like silly. Like you're like, well, it can bounce off your ball, but if it hits another teammate, they're out. And so it's very like loose because it's so fast. And I feel like there could a lot of integrity issues.
All right, here's what we do.
I kind of feel like cribbage is the same.
We're gonna combine that sport with pickleball, but we're gonna throw pickles instead of balls.
No balls, just pickles.
Just pickles, yeah.
And so
Pickle dodgeball.
You're welcome. That one's for free.
So the pickleball.
So it's in between table tennis and regular tennis.
Okay.
And so
you use like a really.
You use a wiffle ball.
Yeah.
Wiffle ball. I use a wood paddle because I'm old school, but all
Right.
the people I play with a composite paddle. And
You're a purist.
I'm a purist. Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, they call it my plywood thunder.
So do you have to play on a special court?
Yeah, you have a special court. On either side of the net, you have what's called a kitchen. You can't step in the kitchen. You have some, funky rules, but being a baseball player, I get to, let out some of my baseball energy.
You get to swing at something.
I get to swing as hard as I can, and sometimes it hits them right in the chest.
Right. That's what they're talking about dodgeball. It's all baseball players.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
And
That
they're
makes
like
sense.
firing like 85-mile-an-hour dodgeballs into people's faces.
Now that would
and I was
hurt.
like, that's pretty cool.
That would leave a
Side B.
that would leave a mark.
Yeah.
Sign you up. You want to get blown up by a
Yeah.
dog?
I want
I want to get decimated.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Give you a
I'm a yes.
concussion?
I'm a yes man.
Yeah.
If you say like let's do this, I'll just say yes.
Oh man. See,
That's
I'm
true.
the opposite. I'm a no man.
You're a no man.
I'm a maybe
No,
guy.
That's you're a maybe.
I'm
just
in the middle.
depends.
I'm in
Yeah.
the middle.
I like things the way I like them.
Right. You're a
And
routine guy.
I'm a routine guy.
Right.
And I don't like change.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
My routine?
Yeah, your routine. So I remember because I was in Juneau for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
On a layover.
Yeah,
And
let's make a side note at like 3 in the morning.
Yes, and so
Casey, come out and grab a drink.
we were
downtown.
texting before because our plane was supposed to land earlier.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, we're gonna go out. I'm gonna show Ronnie my Juneau for the first time.
Yeah.
Anyway, got delayed. And you're like, oh, what time do you leave? I was like, at 5. He's like, you're like, perfect. Let's meet up. I was like, whoa. No, I don't. I'm leaving at 5, bro. I'm not gonna get up any minute sooner than that.
Yeah.
So you're an early bird.
I'm an early bird. It has changed a little bit. So when I was in Anchorage, I had a regular, 8 to 5 job. And between, before work and after work, I would get up to do leather work, get my orders done. So,
Yeah.
Especially during the holiday season, it was 3:30, 4 o'clock I'd get up.
Yeah.
It's tough now because my wife works the night shift. And so we've turned
She's
our
the newbie.
She's in the next 2 years, it's the,
Night shift.
the night shift. So I've turned our spare bedroom into my leather workshop. So I work from home, so I kind of switch schedules, but
Yeah.
as soon as I get back, I think I'm going to switch back to getting up super early. I got a lot to do.
You were like the only person when I was working on the slope because I would be up at 4-ish
Yeah.
to get ready for.
Good day.
Yeah. And so then I knew that I could, if we had something that we needed to talk about, I was like, oh, I can message Casey. It's 4:45. He's up.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be up.
Yeah, just finished breakfast. What's up, man?
Oh my goodness.
And so that from about 4 to 8, I really get stuff done. I cook. I
So
go fast.
what time did you go to bed on days like that?
Yeah.
Well, so this was crazy. This last winter, I had an unreal November, December. I was making, I think if I remember right, about 20 wallets a day.
Oh.
So I'd get up at 4 and go to bed at 11. But normally, it's like 9:30 rolls around and
You're out.
it's Netflix and chill, ladies.
Yeah.
How long does a wallet take you to do?
It depends on what it is, but if I'm gutting a glove and I'm making a bifold out of it, like this, it'll take right around 3 hours.
Okay.
And so everything I do is hand stitched. It's all.
So how are you pumping out 20 a day?
It depends.
Basically
on
not from start to finish though.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You like have
and then
them-
there's some of my wallets that are smaller, like
Right.
I had a little card holder, similar to what I think
Like
Steven
this?
rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is even more complicated than I would make.
Sure.
Mine's like this, but it's just a couple lines of stitching.
Right.
Those take about an hour.
Right.
And I had a lot of those.
So do you kind of work through phases where you get a bunch of wallets to phase 1?
Yes.
And
so
then you move on.
I do everything in phases. It's funny you ask that because I'll get a bunch of stuff cut out. So I have a clicker press, so I click out all my shapes of my wallets.
Right.
And then I'll get them all glued up in a pile to stitch.
Sure.
And then I'll stitch them all, and then I'll do all the edges, and then do the final touches.
Gotcha, yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense for bulk.
Some people like to do it from start to finish, and for me, it's not as efficient, because I have all my needles ready for when I start to hand stitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then,
And plus, it doesn't feel like you'd accomplish as much, like when you can work through a stage and they're like, okay, these are all done.
Yeah.
Stage 2,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yes, I see. I think we think similarly like that.
Yeah, Steven's the outcast because he's the creative,
Yeah.
and then we're like the routine.
So if you were to make
early-
something like this, would you do it all in one go, or
Yeah.
would you do it?
Yeah. No,
I would just make one and call it quits.
I mean, I think I do it the same way as I would do video editing. Right? It's hard for me. I'm working on this video right now where I have to edit like the second part of it before I edit the first part of it.
Right.
And I can't do that because I have to see like the beginning through the end. So it's
Yeah.
very linear. Like my process is very linear. Like
Yeah.
it's the same with design though. Like you like.
Yeah, you wouldn't start a bunch of logos and do a quarter of them.
Right.
And
You start from the beginning, build it up, and then.
Well,
go
video
from there.
editing. So
Well, video editing is different, but I mean that's
it is. Oh.
yeah, it's just
So was I.
that's just kind of I think that's my workflow. Is I have to see something from the beginning to the end.
Well, that's
you know?
because all your stuff needs to be that
Yeah,
way.
so that's I'm just used to it.
Even my tiny experience in video editing, I feel like if I don't finish it and I like come back to
Yeah.
it, I've lost like my momentum.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Train of
wait,
thought.
what was I doing with this whole?
Yeah.
Like even though my stuff is
But
so
you gotta
simple.
have discipline.
Oh god. Yes.
Here we go.
I was waiting for inspiration.
We're so technically this podcast. Yeah, this is next week's podcast. We're talking about it's self-discipline versus
Or inspiration. We kept saying
versus
motivation.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially-
goes hand in hand in my
Discipline versus inspiration.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
do you wait?
man.
Do you wait for the
What
inspiration?
happens when
to
you
make
don't have
projects?
either of those?
you're screwed.
You're
Yeah.
screwed. You gotta
Quit.
have.
You better quit.
That flukes.
But we
That's
talk-
funny.
yeah.
That's a great question because
What do you rely on more? Can you use both of them? And which is better, for lack of a better word?
Oh man, that's see. I think I don't know.
So, I mean, obviously, this is the kind of the conclusion we came to, is that to get your idea from Mack Provisions, you had inspiration of
Right.
some sort. You're like, I like this idea, I want to do it.
Yeah.
But then it eventually turned into discipline where you're like, I have orders,
And I have to
I
do
can't
it.
wait till I want to do this, I have to do
Have
this.
to do it
Because you have people that
Oh, man.
have literally given you money.
Yeah, but there's got to be some inspiration
Exactly.
in between.
Well, I think that's how
Yeah.
you evolve.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like,
How do
you see something, you're like, I can do this or do it better.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
and it's funny you ask or you say that because I've turned, I'll got a catcher's glove, and when I've got a catcher's glove, that's a lot of leather to work with.
Yeah.
And I think, man, I could make, like I just came out with more of a feminine wallet that closes, and it's a long wallet.
Right.
And it totally inspired me, and I almost just stopped doing other things just to come out
Do
with
it
that because
post.
it inspired me to make it. So yeah.
Sure.
So there's that definitely. I think inspiration creates growth, and then growth creates more orders, right? I mean that's the.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is the idea that the inspiration. I think that is true. That it makes you evolve because that's what gives you the new ideas. But
Right.
the self-discipline is what does the day-to-day
It
stuff
drives
that
it. Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, like
It doesn't suck. It's-
When I get back home, I've got an order of 9 bifolds
Right.
that are just sitting there waiting for me, and I've got the gloves just ready to gut.
And you don't have inspiration to do that probably every day.
It's a stock item. It's not a stock item. It's an item I offer. So I just gotta make them, bust them out, and go.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do find it's fun because each wallet of mine's different because they're all made from 9 different gloves.
Right.
So they all look different even though they're the same wallet type.
How many gloves does it take to? I mean, like, here's a better question. You have one glove. How many wallets does that make?
Yeah, it depends on the glove. And so back in the day, like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, gloves used to be a lot smaller than what they are now. So I can make a lot less. But like a catcher's glove, I can make 3 types of wallets.
Okay.
But then a fielder's mitt, I can make 1 or possibly 2, depending how efficient I can.
And what's your? I mean, if you don't want to answer this, but what's your process on finding them? Like I wouldn't even know like the first place to like eBay.
eBay's a good starting point. It's crazy. People know I do this, so I'll get a few emails a year that say, "Hey, my grandpa died. He collected mitts. Do you want the whole collection?"
Oh yeah.
And I'll be yes, send them to me.
Let me tear those bad boys apart.
Or anytime I go down south, I hit up antique stores or flea markets or.
So you're always on the hunt.
Always on the hunt. Yeah.
Do you ever like find yourself being the guy like when you see a baseball mitt, be like, "That's a 1947 Rawlings," and everybody's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like,
It's like a car guy, but it's a baseball mitt guy.
And you know that's cool you ask because I know eras of mitts. They themselves evolve, so they've changed over time.
Yeah.
And there are mitts like one of them that I have is a first baseman mitt that was issued to U.S. Navy in World War I.
Nice.
That's cool.
So you know,
Did it still have the curve on the first base?
Oh yeah, it looks like an oven mitt, huge
Right.
oven mitt. You know, and I've seen a couple like that, and be like, oh, that's definitely from
This time frame. Yeah.
from the teens or 20s, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And those I don't tear apart.
Interesting.
I was gonna say. I mean, that's coming up on 100 years old. Like it's
100 years old,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, if it's
1918, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy to think about.
But that's what's I think is the coolest part about leather goods is you don't even need to necessarily take care of them because I think almost the trashier they look over time, like you're like, that's got some nice patina
Right.
to it.
Yeah.
It's got certain the sucky part about gloves is I'll find one and it's been sitting in an attic or wherever for years and it's dry rot.
Right.
Because leather has natural oils in it. Even some leathers come pre-oiled. They put a lot of tallow, wax, and stuff in it.
Right.
And that's what helps preserve it over time. Like this has a lot of your butt juice in there, so it's staying good.
My front pocket.
Oh,
I keep it in
sorry.
the front pocket now.
I don't want to say
yeah,
what kind of juice.
You keep your wallet in the front pocket?
Well, because it's so bad to sit on your wallet.
yeah, mine's like
You're gonna hurt your back.
Look, there's a Mikey Huff. Shout out to Mikey Huff.
Yeah. Huff goods.
Huff goods.
Goods.
Ooh, that's so. This is Horween horse butt.
Horse butt.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they
that's
cut
part of the horse.
The old horses.
Well, you're not. So it's called shell cordovon.
Right.
That's the butt.
they make.
cheek.
That's what they make a lot of shoes out of
The
too.
best shoes. And so part of the cutoff from that is the strip above the cheeks. So I get that same leather and it looks like it's cut from looks like a big old M.
Right.
Because it's cut.
Yeah, it's
right
big, it's a
above.
big horse.
Wait, so is it because that's like a really muscular section of the horse or something?
I don't know. That's a great question.
But
Well,
how do you pronounce it again?
shell-
Cordovon?
Cordovon.
Cordovon. Because
But
I've,
it's
I've
cool
seen like
because it's-
Cordovan and like stuff like
Well,
that. And I've
that's-
always wondered about shoes because
I've always wondered. I
sound
think
like
it's
an idiot when you say
Cordovon,
it.
but
Right.
if you take the end off, it's
Cordova.
Cordova, like it's one of the cities in Alaska. So I don't know. I say Cordovon.
That's why you just mumble words that you don't know. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a Cordovon.
exactly.
it's a shell Cordovon shoe.
And if they keep asking, just keep mumbling. Just don't lose that momentum.
Yeah, that's why I like what I do because this wallet's going to come with its own set of stories or patina.
It's kind of built-in story, right?
It's got, sometimes it even has a kid's name written on it or with the address.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some
cool.
people really like that, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
My favorite on the baseball mitts was kind of like probably late 90s, 2000 era. Well, I mean, they did it forever, but always have a baseball player's name in the center
Oh, yeah.
of the palm.
People
And so I had the Ken Griffey
specifically-
Jr.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I bought that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Black Rawlings. I think it was
Oh,
Black
yeah.
Rawlings.
I have people who specifically ask me, will email me and say, hey, do you have a Roy Campanella catcher mitt?
Right.
And I usually keep at least one in stock. Or a Yogi Berra mitt. I have 3 right now. People love Yogi Berra mitts or Mickey Mantle gloves. If I don't have one, people will be like, hey, I've got 3 Mickey Mantle gloves. Do you want to make them into wallets for me? Sure, why not?
Of course. Can't say no to that.
So I've recently found myself watching a ton of YouTube videos on how to break in a baseball mitt because Aiden is playing, starting a new season, and we had to get him a new glove, so we got him a Wilson A2000 something. I forget.
Oh, you got an A2000?
A2000.
So the cream of the crop. That's like
so the wife, of course,
she bought it.
Yeah, and I was like, that's
got
actually
the money
a good
first.
buy.
That's a good buy.
Well, because I was like, that's a good one, because I'm familiar roughly with gloves.
Oh yeah.
And so then I'm like, well, how do you break it in? Because we used to do the whole get the oil, put it in the oven even, and I'm like, I looked it up and they're like, don't do that anymore because you could bake out the oils, dry it out.
You could dry it out. Yeah.
You run that risk.
There's
and
some
so
risk.
all of it was shown with hot water.
Hot water?
Hot water. I came across.
Wait a minute, you dip the glove
Well,
in hot water?
you don't dip it. You pour it into the pocket, and
work
then
it
you just
in.
kind of work it around on the outside.
So that even in like a regular leather, when you wet it, it gets super pliable.
Right.
So when you
And so
wet
that's the
leather,
idea.
it gets kind of stretchy, and then you can form it to whatever shape you want, so it's ready to go. And then once it's dried out, it's it's ready to go. It's shaped.
Right.
Like if you wet leather and pull it over something, like I've seen people on Instagram that will take a rock and they'll wet form it over the rock to make a paper holder.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because it's formed to that rock. So like on a glove, you get it wet, gets pliable, and then it's
Bang in the pocket, and then leave the
and
ball in there and
broken.
wrap it. Yeah.
And I feel like whenever I was playing baseball, like Little League or whatever, we would just play to break it in.
That's
Yeah,
don't
well,
think we- I don't
that's
think we-
the,
I don't remember, like-
the old-fashioned way of playing catch to break it in.
Well, and that was
Yeah.
funny because when I was in college, before UAS, I was a catcher. I caught in college, and when I got a new glove, I just catch bullpen and bullpen and bullpen until my glove was good to go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that would be game ready after I've got it all.
How long would that take you though to get game ready?
Probably take days.
Yeah.
I mean, to get to the.
Well, so like pros will go down to spring training, and they'll get their brand new glove.
Yeah.
And so as for the catchers, they'll catch bullpens all spring long, and then probably by the time it comes to regular season, one of their gloves is probably ready to go.
Yeah.
Did you use knee savers when you played catcher?
No, those are for girls. Cut that out.
That's what I always wonder because I'm like, God, that does so much damage.
I'll take it back. I did a little bit.
Yeah.
But they would get in my way.
Yeah.
So
when
when
you're like
trying
running.
to catch or trying to move or just trying to move in general.
And for those that don't know what those are,
I
they're
don't.
pads that go on the back of your calf area as a catcher. So when you squat down, you're almost kind of sitting on these pads.
Yeah.
So it takes a little pressure off your knees.
Yeah.
But
you sit upright more. I mean, it
Right.
just sets you up better.
Yeah.
But as a catcher, if you ever have anybody on base, you're not going to be sitting on your knee savers. You're going to be
Right,
up.
you're kinda ready to go in case they steal, yeah. so what would you say the cost of a Major League Baseball player's mitt is, brand new?
You can so.
Because this will blow me away because
Yeah, you'll be blown away.
Right.
So the Rawlings offers a custom one where you can get your name and stuff on it for about $600. So
Right.
I'd say $300 to $600.
yeah, 3 to 6. Because most people go around thinking baseball mitts are like $50, maybe $100. But when you get into those nice leather custom ones,
Well, think about just the
guess that
labor
makes
to make
sense,
a
though.
glove. Like it has
it's all the stitching.
like miles of stitching.
Right.
I mean, it's
But isn't it all automated like the big
well,
boys?
Well, so the reason why those Rawlings mitts, they have a custom shop in St. Louis. So they make still their gloves in St. Louis.
Okay,
And
so they're
so
doing
they
it by
have
hand.
somebody making that glove.
Okay, all right. I
So
mean,
it's a handmade glove.
I guess it makes sense. $300, $600, whatever. But
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, at that price, yeah, it's not a machine doing it at some point. 'Cause
Yeah.
at that price point,
Yeah.
Especially since it's such a big company, and then they have one guy, and they got to pay that guy, but they also got to get the leather, and they also pay the So
Well,
I get
yeah,
that.
that's
That makes
well.
sense.
So this wallet is made out of Horween.
Yeah.
So same company your wallet's made out of. Baseball glove leather. So if you look at some pros, they'll have gloves that are tan colored like this.
Yep,
Right.
I used to
It's
have one like that.
It's the same leather. So cream of the crop, best Horween baseball glove leather.
Interesting.
Yeah, it breaks in nicely.
yeah, that's,
But I have a buddy. I just saw him. He pitches for the Indians, and the Indians came to Seattle, and I watched them play opening day against the Indians.
I saw that.
That's cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really fun. He got a wallet. He also bought 6 more for teammates.
Sweet.
And then I had a Terry Francona mitt. His coach's dad just passed away. So It was his dad's model mitt, so I made him a wallet too.
Oh, that's cool.
But he was telling me that he has a contract with Rawlings and he gets 3 mitts every year, which is crazy, and they're all made there in St. Louis.
So I have an idea for you.
Yeah.
This is $1 million idea. You pay your buddy that plays for the Indians
Yeah.
to throw your wallet on a pitch to the catcher.
And
then the catcher goes like that to the camera
for a video.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
during a live game.
I kind of
During a
want
live
to see
game.
it the World Series.
Yeah. Throws a
World
curveball
Series.
with it. Like they're like, what the?
Is that
Did
some
he
Mack
just throw his wallet? The
money
Mack
going
Provisions
everywhere.
wallet?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you do that,
Smells
you're
bad,
set.
Mack.
I don't know how much money that would take to get him to do it.
Oh,
How good of a friend is he? You know? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
you get, well, that's how you find out.
There is a number. There's
There's always
there.
a number.
Yeah, so he would do it for a
These
certain
pros
price.
make good money. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
starting salary
Yeah,
in MLB is $500K.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still, he's got a number. Everybody has a number.
You say 501K and he'll do it.
Or yeah,
Where
I
am
mean,
I going to get that?
Don't worry about that part.
yeah.
It'll
But
come
You
Don't
guys
worry
want to
about
invest in Mack Provisions?
It'll come from the orders you get because he throws it.
Right, there you go.
It's a high risk.
Return on
Maybe
investment.
maybe he gets a percentage of those orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he gets a percentage of every order that comes in within the next.
Bingo.
I hope
100
he's not
hours.
listening to this. And
I hope he
being like,
is. Shark Tank. Hit him up, dude. Hit up Casey.
Yeah. But that is cool. I mean, to see somebody that's made it. How many active baseball players are there on a given season? Like
I don't even know.
Like, so how many teams are there?
We have a 40-man roster.
40-man roster, and then you can call up from AAA, AA, all that kind of
That's-
stuff
yeah,
whenever.
exactly.
But I mean, for
How many
40-man
teams are there?
roster, and then there's how many teams? There's 30. There's got to be
I don't
30.
know. I only follow one.
Right. Let's just say there's 40 teams.
Yeah.
40-man rosters. So you got 1,600 guys. 160, yeah, 1,600
That's
guys.
a lot of.
total.
Well, and you think about it, it's crazy. Just baseball in general. So there's major leagues. There's AAA, AA,
Right.
extended A ball, single A.
Japan, Latin America. Like, you got a
Rookie
lot of.
ball.
Right.
Oh, and it's huge, like Dominican Republic,
Oh, yeah.
Puerto
Oh,
Rico. A good chunk of the major leaguers now are from Spanish-speaking countries. So baseball is a very big sport.
So I heard something pretty crazy that there is a extremely low number of Asian American baseball players born in America.
Born in America.
Right.
Okay.
Extremely low. Like,
Really?
not even make up 1% of the MLB.
That's a weird statistic.
You're right, because they were talking about like how like any of the Latin American countries, they have so many players that make it to the MLB, but
Right.
but in terms of Asian Americans, unless they're directly from Asia and make it through that league and come over,
Right.
they don't ever play baseball.
Right. Wow. That's crazy. So you have they have to be born in America.
Correct.
Okay. But there's probably a good chunk of Dominican Republic or people from the DR or Puerto Rico that were born here
Right, and have made it through.
had made it through.
But like just in terms of like how kids are brought up,
Right.
like
It's different.
Asian American societies in America don't like baseball's not big in a lot of those.
Yeah. I guess the only one that's baseball's big in is Japan
Right.
and Korea.
Right,
Those
right.
two are very big.
And there is players that obviously come like Ichiro, all those
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of players
yeah,
that
yeah.
come over to America to play in the MLB, but
Yeah.
none of them that are born here
play.
actually get to the
Gosh,
MLB.
that's interesting.
And I could be just talking out my no. I heard it. I heard it was
I mean,
something.
you can
just,
say anything, I believe it. I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, I was just
I don't
talking
know.
about statistics of where people come from that make it to the MLB.
Yeah. And just I think it would be fun to look up where the active, 40-man rosters and see where their country of origin is. And I would say a good chunk of them aren't from the United States.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is crazy how far it extended.
Yeah.
Makes sense though.
That's always. I'm always interested in the demographics of the players, where they come from, how they got there.
It's a stats game. People love statistics of baseball.
Moneyball,
Oh
man.
man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
I mean baseball cards. Like you,
It full of stats.
right? Exactly. I used to collect baseball cards.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah, that's another market that's very interesting. If it's still alive, it's got to be to an extent.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like
My dad my dad used to work at a sports shop. Like my grandfather owned a sporting goods store. It's actually called Dick's Sporting Goods.
he got sued.
No, it just
Oh, long before.
long before. Yeah, this was way.
They
way
stole
before
that
I-
name.
Where at?
Anyway, in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Anyway, so my dad worked there and like collected baseball cards. And then this was before he went to college. He had like, I think it was like rookie cards from like huge baseball players, right?
Really?
So my dad goes to college, comes back, finds out his baseball card collection is gone, asks Mom, what happened to my baseball cards? Oh, I thought you were done with them. I threw them out.
And
Like
they're worth some money.
We're talking like,
Oh,
I
man.
think, I don't know, I'm like Mickey Mantle and rookie card, like stuff like that, right? Like huge money.
So rookie cards are worth
Yeah.
money, and if you especially get somebody like Mickey Mantle,
Yeah, I mean, he still has, so like, and it was kind of cool. So the year my brother was born and the year I was born, he bought like tons of boxes of baseball cards, and we to this day we still have not opened them. And so I think
why
there were
not?
tops.
Yeah.
It's like
wouldn't know.
You open up the box and then they're still in their package.
their packaging.
Right.
Yeah, and then, 20.
But it's
30
like you
years
never
from
know
now,
what you're sitting on.
You
That's
could, yeah. What year were you born?
89.
Oh,
My brother was 86.
Oh, so I think Griffey came out 86.
Yeah,
I'll
pretty
Well,
sure it was the
it-
same year I was born, 86.
Yeah. So he could have a.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Junior
And so like with my
rookie
dad, yeah, he wants to wait, and
That's my brother-in-law.
It's kinda cool.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's huge into collecting sport cards of all types.
Really?
And he has mainly NBA, I believe.
Oh,
but he
so-
has tons of baseball.
I have a ton
But
of
he-
Michael Jordan.
Like,
Oh,
we went
yeah.
over there and Aiden looked at the cards, all of them like unopened, like vintage. He literally gets eBay gift cards for Christmas, birthday, everything, and buys
loves it.
Cards.
because he wants to eventually start a store for his retirement.
That'd be cool.
And I mean,
Wow.
it's like you ask a 8-year-old kid to look at an unopened pack of cards. He's like, "Let's open them.
Let's
Yeah.
Let's open
Oh,
them right
no.
now." And he's
Yeah.
like, "No. We got to save these for 30 more years."
yeah,
Yeah. No. Let's open them.
That's funny. My buddy picked up on eBay
Right.
unopened packs from the 80s, and it had bubble gum with it.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
And he put it in,
Oh.
and it just dissolved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Oh, gross. Now, see, I think the bad thing about like waiting is because it's gonna go down in value.
Someday it'll go.
Well, I mean, like when I was young, baseball, basketball, football, whatever, cards were huge. Right? I remember collecting. I've never really been a huge sports guy, but I remember collecting baseball cards. Like making sure if we went to like a different city, we'd go to a baseball card shop so I could go check them out. And but like now, I don't really see baseball card shops or
No.
people selling
It's
them.
all online,
And
I
so
mean.
like it makes me worried because all these cards that my dad has collected, like, is
Is it going to go away?
it gonna
Is
go
the market
away?
But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like they'll become more rare as there's less access
True.
to them, possibly.
I mean, hopefully.
Maybe.
But I mean, look at Beanie Babies. Now that was a weird phase for all
When you
of America.
when you were collecting them, I had a couple. I was
Not
like, I'm
gonna
going to be
lie,
a millionaire.
I collected, yeah, exactly. I collected them. I had a book.
Pokemon
Tell me
cards.
how much they're gonna be. Pokemon cards. the
Same
thing.
idea.
Oh, I had
Yeah.
Pokemon cards.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like, you look at Beanie Babies and like, no. Like the one that
then
was
they were-
supposed to be $1 million, like the Princess Di one,
Oh, yeah.
or whatever, is
I
like
remember.
nobody would pay $1 for.
Well, that's
now.
the thing. It's like just recently I saw articles that were saying like Beanie Baby. If you have this Beanie Baby, it's worth this much money, and everybody is sharing it around on
Right.
social media. I'm like, who's paying for this?
Yeah.
Somebody has to like say this is worth that
Who's
much value.
driving this market?
Right.
Maybe that's a good marketing for your wallets and stuff. Is like you come out with a guide that says this wallet is worth this much now, but in 10 years it's going to be worth this much, and then dude, guaranteed orders.
Or you just
Boom,
say,
boom,
yeah.
boom, boom. Or Cut and Caliber products. Just say the pomade is
30-year-old pomade that's all moldy and gross.
Exactly.
Worth $500,000.
You're gonna want it.
You're gonna want to
But
put
don't
it.
use
Don't
it,
use
but
it.
don't
You'll
use
die.
it.
You'll die.
you will die. Just have it on your shelf.
Yeah, it'll be the last time you
It's
do
a
your
good,
hair.
it's a good marketing strat.
It is.
But yeah, scarcity, anything like that's always
I mean,
good.
everybody wants to double their value.
Well,
or
yeah, it's
whatever.
like an investment in something.
It's
Yeah.
an investment.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's worth an idea.
I just don't like it because then you have to keep it in such good shape, and like
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I want to make product that people use.
yeah, exactly.
Like, break it in and get their own stories and patina and stuff. A wallet is super intimate. Like, you keep
Yeah, I mean it's
weird stuff in there.
like the whole dad wallet
Weird
that's like
stuff
about.
in there? Is that what you said?
weird stuff.
Like, what do you guys keep in your wallet? I mean, I keep cards and money. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need like.
Well, I have for some reason 3 tickets from Alaska Airlines.
You got your baggage tickets in there.
Well, okay. I mean, like, yeah, I get that.
I used to carry a lucky $2 bill. That was my grandpa's.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's another thing I collect. $2 bills.
Ooh, that's
like
a good
every
one.
time I get one, I have tons.
I know. I think I spent them all. You take them to a store like when you're a
people-
kid and your mom like lets you like, okay, you can spend them, and you're like, go to Blockbuster. I have $8 for $2.
Shout out to Blockbuster.
Speaking of
B-Buster.
Yeah.
Stay open, no matter what anybody
oh man, I
says.
should stay here
Dude,
since I'm here.
You
Go
should.
there.
Yeah, you should. You should check
Which
it out.
one is it?
Jabbar.
Jabbar.
Now, going on a tangent of Blockbuster since it's fresh in my mind, it blew my mind that a day rental was 49 cents.
Yeah.
I was like, how are you guys making money?
They're not.
Or not.
Right.
They're-
I'm like, dude, and I mean, there was a couple people in there while I was there, but I mean, like,
I don't understand how they can pay employees.
right. Yeah, I mean,
Or
like,
pay for the rent on the building.
I would
or
say-
anything.
I would say we were there for probably about 45 minutes to an hour. They probably made like $3.
Right.
If everybody,
Oh my
if
goodness.
everybody, I'm like, how do you?
How do you?
Do they have a bell when they set a new record? We saluted $4.
I don't know. I mean, I wish them the best. I hope they stay around, but still at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm like, how do you?
It's
make
a model
money?
that's not very.
It's dying, obviously.
Is it the candy? Your overpriced candy?
No, because I used to
Oh,
go there.
Yeah, candy. That's a.
I used to go there probably every Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday
No,
when
me
I was
too.
like in
Me too.
elementary school. That same one. That's
Yeah.
the one that was my neighborhood one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like I look back now and I'm like,
Yeah, we used to go there, and you're right. They'd have odd candies that you wouldn't really.
Oh, they
find.
still do.
Yeah.
It was a blast from the past walking into one because it's been a couple years since I've been in one.
Right.
But yeah, it was just kind of like they still have like the same old like carpets with Blockbuster logo on
Right,
them.
the old school.
And it just has that smell. It's just like so weird to walk down the aisles. It's like
I think that's gonna
nostalgia.
It's like yeah,
Yeah.
It's that, and I think it's gonna turn into like almost like theaters, where it's like people are like, why am I going to the movie when I can just download this movie at home?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, why am I going to pay $9 for popcorn when I can go to Cars and get $1 popcorn?
Right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the same. Like,
Or I can download it
Especially
illegally.
in Juneau.
oh yeah,
Not to knock where I live, but the theaters haven't been updated probably since like the 30s.
Yeah.
And,
right.
I mean, one used to be an opera house, and the seats are about 3 feet, or about 2 feet wide, and I've got a bigger.
Yeah.
How is there only one theater there?
There's two. There's one downtown in an old building, and then there's one in the valley that's.
I want to go to Juneau, man. I haven't
you
yet
never
to been.
Oh, I love
to be
Juneau.
there.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
interesting. You know, there's no road in or out.
Right.
Yeah, I love
You
it
can
there.
take the
It's-
ferry there, though, right?
You can take a ferry,
Yeah.
you can fly.
Yeah.
But the ferry ride's really cool because you follow the Chilcats all the way up the end, and then you either go to Skagway or Haines.
Right.
And so if you want to go to Canada, you go to Skagway.
Right.
You know, just a little bit over the, to the west would be Haines.
I was looking at tickets to Juneau, and it's more expensive to fly there
Exactly,
sometimes
yeah.
than it is Seattle.
Yep.
Trust me.
And it's like,
it's mind-boggling.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Why would you fly to Juneau when you can fly to Seattle?
Seattle. Well, and I
That's what a lot of
almost,
people say, probably.
I wish that like Raven Air or somebody would get something to Juneau, but I guess they don't really have a need to.
No.
But it's like
They're on the
I
market.
want to get to Juneau because I think I'd love to see like all the old timey stuff there.
I always say it's like a super small, tiny Seattle. Because it's built on a hill.
Yep.
And so like the downtown just has that same vibe. You're walking up a hill, you have shops. I love the downtown
It's cool.
area.
Downtown area it's neat. Especially this year, they're predicting like 1.3 million tourists that come in.
Wow.
So
3 million.
that's a huge market for me because I have companies in town that stock my stuff.
Yeah.
And do pretty well. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Do they have like a Saturday market kind of thing there too?
No, not a Saturday market, but we do have a Christmas market that's crazy that I
Oh, yeah, I bet.
hopefully get in this year.
Huh.
I almost feel like, man, there's something to be said about like little pop-up shops. Like if you could get some like cool, I say bike, but something that has like the wallets on display, and you just like go set up somewhere,
Right.
Like a
table,
pop-up
like
bike.
right downtown,
Yeah.
and people like are walking by and be like, this
Like a
is
hot,
dope.
like a hot dog stand.
In a nutshell, yes.
It's crazy you say that because that's what people are doing. Like there's one company that I'm just going to start stocking my goods. It's called The Port, and they took an old Connex and really done it nice.
Right.
Made a platform, and they just plopped it in the middle of downtown. So it's it's pretty cool.
Right. Well, that's like the whole idea.
I would want to take like an old van.
Sure, something to
Like
some transportation.
a
to get.
creepy Mikey Huff van.
Yeah.
and turn it, cut out a hole and drop it down.
That actually would be really cool.
Almost like like a
have a
sandwich
window.
shop, like
Yeah,
Bus
exactly.
does.
Yeah. Creepy like
what is-
Mikey.
now, like I've only spent a week or so in Juneau, so I haven't really got to spend much time. I don't really know anybody there except for you.
Yeah.
But like, what's like the creative scene like down there? Like,
There's
is
a
there?
lot-
Because up here we have, we can get together with photographers or videographers, or it's still small,
Yeah.
but we have that chance to do that.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's interesting you ask because I have the taste of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
So I live in Juneau, but I also lived here, and I had so much more, I think, growth creatively because of the community, like you guys and Mikey and stuff,
Right.
where I could grow and learn and learn how to take photos. But it's kind of different down there in Juneau. When it's sad because a lot of the community is older,
Right.
and a lot of the younger kids can't afford to live there because it's expensive. It's more expensive than Anchorage.
Really?
Oh yeah, housing's unreal.
Wow.
And so they move out. So they came out with something like 2014 showing the statistics of the city, and it's a lot of it's younger generations moving somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the scene, there is a scene there. There are people who make cool stuff. There's there's this one company who own the port, and they they go out and they pickle.
Pickleball.
No, they don't pickle balls. Kelp. They take kelp, cut them into rings, and pickle them. So there's some people down there making cool stuff. Yeah, and it's good. It's tasty. So,
Yeah, that's how many people are in Juneau?
30,000.
30,000?
Where Anchorage is 300.
Yeah, I was going to say
Well,
1/10 of
we
what-
have a little more, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But
It's like comparing us to Seattle. Like, it's like,
and I feel like, I don't know, whenever I went to Juneau, I never felt like this anywhere else in Alaska. Whenever I go to Juneau, I just love like the downtown area.
Yeah.
Like I get a creative
So do all the-
inspiration when I'm down like at cool downtowns like New York City or Seattle, whatever. Anchorage doesn't really give that to me, but when I go to Juneau, I have that like, ooh, this is cool. Like, it's just a good feeling when you get there.
There's definitely, if any
vibe.
Juneau people are listening, they'll know this. There are valley people and then there are downtown people.
Yeah.
And there's 5 miles of road in between. And either you're one or the other. You do all your shopping downtown if you're a downtown person. You're, a valley person.
you don't come into downtown.
Like I never go to downtown.
Oh, really?
I avoid
You're a valley
the
guy.
flight.
You're
Yeah.
a valley boy.
You're a valley guy.
Valley guy. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like here, though. It's like Eagle River and
Yeah.
Palmer
Yeah,
Russell.
it's
They're like,
kinda
I'm not
like-
going to town.
Yeah.
Anchorage is the big city.
Yeah,
And it's
you
like
know-
vice versa. I'm not going to the valley.
And it's funny
Right,
because,
that's true. Yeah.
like if you think about it, it's quicker to get from Eagle River to a hospital than it is for a lot of places from like South Anchorage
Yeah.
to, Prov by the UAA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about the same distance.
Yeah, Eagle River. I mean, it's basically Anchorage.
It's
I
basically.
mean, when I lived in Eagle River,
But if you ask
rarely
somebody
came
from
to
Eagle
Anchorage.
River, they'll say, "I'm not from Anchorage. I'm from Eagle River."
Yeah. Yeah. Same with the
Hometown
valley.
pride.
Or the
Yeah.
valley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Well-
but it's cool. It's it's a different scene down there, especially right now since legislation is in
Session.
In session.
Well, yeah. Are they still? I think they just finished up.
Or they just
Something like that. So
But
you
yes.
have a ton of politicians.
You're right. Flying to Anchorage, I rode the plane with a ton of people. I've seen their faces and their senators and stuff. I can't tell you the names.
Right.
Politicians.
You guys need a wallet? Anybody need a wallet on here?
Yeah. Go up and down the
Since
aisle.
you guys have emptied mine.
Just have like a trench coat full of bullets.
Yeah.
What do you want?
That would be better.
That's such a shady image, but
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Would you like the what was it, Cordovan? Would
Yeah.
you like that? Or would you like-
Cordovan.
Or would you
Cordovan.
like the horse butt
Yeah.
or whatever?
That's fresh horse butt right here.
Get your fresh horse butt.
Oh man. I don't think I'd sell a thing if I did that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? You think we covered enough topics?
I mean, honestly,
How much recorded?
we're almost at an hour.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and so we're probably gonna cut like all of it. I'm gonna
Done.
cut it down to like 5 minutes.
You're just gonna cut out keyword horse butt, Cordovan. Beep. Yeah, Cordovan. Horse butt.
Or maybe I'll just like bleep words
And
that
then
like
Chewbacca.
shouldn't be bleeped.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, my name is Casey. Bleep. What? What's his last name?
What's his
You
last
should,
name?
you should believe every time we say pickle, so it's like beep ball. You guys are playing.
I play this game
Oh man, I love it.
I love beepball.
How do you play it? Well, first you take your beep, and then you throw your beep at each other.
You take your.
That would be fun.
Cool.
Have fun
Well,
doing that.
Casey, thank you so much for coming over here.
Yeah.
And
And tell people where they can find you at.
Yeah,
'cause that's
go to-
important.
Yeah, so website is mackprovisions.com, or my IG handle is just mackprovisions. Same for Facebook, Mack Provisions. So MCK.
We'll put up some links for that too. So
links in the bio or
Yeah.
links in the description.
or whatever.
And I will
Links
say,
below.
before we go, I listen to these guys every day. If not some sort of media, every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Written, audio, or
Well, that's
blog.
the, we were just talking about this the other day, actually.
Yeah, when we were
I was
down
like, I'm like, I want to own like every weekday. I want to come out with something every weekday. So
And
it's
you
like
almost do.
Monday's the podcast.
Steven
Wednesday's-
Saturdays.
Wednesday's Steven Saturdays. Wednesday's the vlog. Friday will be like, I think, Friday's a
Yeah.
good day for like stuff like this to come
Right.
out. But then you also have articles coming out, and so
Yeah, so it's Friday when this is going to
I
end.
think so. I think
This will
I
be a
think Friday's
Friday
good
thing.
day.
I think this is like kind of like a fun thing you listen to when you're like checked out at work mentally.
Yeah.
Or, like I just want to hear like something.
Yeah, I think it's good. I don't know. We'll see. Kyle had this idea of just like, let's just go to somewhere real, and then like bring
Have
one
a
mic.
real conversation where it's not polished. Because we
Yeah.
kind of realized when we were doing something else, like we're having to make this look so perfect so people. And I'm like, I don't know.
And it's
I
not-
like seeing.
There's definitely some sort of connection there when you have so podcasts that I really like to connect with. There's this human side to it, of
Right.
Having the sounds in the background and hearing plates smash
Right.
and stuff. will
I
add
think that's
some
true.
character.
And it's not like, we're talking to other people. It's not. It's real. I feel like it'll bring, like, listening to it will bring people into the conversation a little bit more. You hear the ambiance. You
Yeah.
hear,
Yeah,
Well,
it's
and then
it's
also-
like you're sitting here with us.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's kinda
when
what
it's
I'm
like you
hoping.
listen to a podcast and you wonder if that's really who they are.
Yeah.
Like when you listen to
True.
it, you're like, are they really like that?
Yeah.
And so then when people listen to this, they'll be like, so that's what they're like talking to somebody in a public setting without a script, without
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And so I think it makes us more
Without an
will help-
agenda too.
Right. We'll make it more relatable to be like, oh, they did this. They really did this.
Yeah.
So it's like we'll see.
And it's I asked you 3-4 times. So what's the script like, or what's it going to be like? What's
Yeah.
it going to be like? What's it going to be like?
It's just like I don't know.
just kind of open form.
Well, just like yeah.
Pickle
And I-
pickleball is going to be on the agenda.
That'll be like
Topic.
that'll be like
Pickleball.
the title.
The title.
bleep ball.
Yeah.
Do you
Bleep-ball.
do you pickle? Can you pickleball?
Yeah.
Can you pickle? Yeah.
Number one pickleballer in Juneau.
I mean, I won't say it. But
You won't
yeah.
say, They call you.
But we all know.
We all know.
The old Juneau
I like to
pickler.
smash
Juno.
bleep balls.
Oh man, the Juno pickler. That sounds
It
like
sounds
a.
like
That
somebody.
sounds like
serial killer.
A serial killer, yeah.
Serial killer.
Did you guys hear about the Juno pickler?
He struck again.
Casey Mack, the Juneau pickler.
Yep.
I love it. That'll be.
You'll get arrested for that nickname.
Yeah, let's end on that one.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna end on. Well, Juno Pickler, thank you for joining
Yeah,
us.
thanks, guys.
No, this was cool. This was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun.
So,
Thanks, fellas.
yeah. Well, everybody, if you kind of like this style, let us know. We're gonna do a few more of
It's
these.
a long one.
It's a long one.
So.
Yeah, usually the podcasts are like 30 minutes.
30
Yeah,
minutes.
we try to keep it under 30
20 to
minutes,
30.
around 30 minutes.
and this will get cut
because
down
that's-
to 3 minutes.
That's what I like, Like I like listening to podcasts and then being able to like get it done fast. Like and then that way I feel like, oh man, I've already gotten stuff done. I've already listened to 4 podcasts or whatever. So and then once in a while I listen to like these long form conversations. Right. So
I see
that's
one
what kinda
over an
this is.
hour, I kind of just move on.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now there are people that listen to
I like the long ones if it's
engaging.
If the content has got you hooked.
it's got.
Yeah.
I like ones where I don't realize that I've already listened to an hour, and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh wow,
dang, yeah.
I listen to
So-
history podcasts that are
hardcore history.
Yeah.
Dan Carlin. I just
know.
told somebody to listen to that today.
Dan
You're not,
Carlin.
we'll talk about this
Yeah,
after.
I couldn't get in. You told me to get into that. I couldn't.
You're
I
about to
couldn't.
get your world.
podcaster or what?
No.
No, who is he? I don't
It's
know.
cool. It's good. It's just, they are long. It's
Yeah.
long.
Well, we're gonna
Yeah,
wrap
okay,
this
we're
up.
gonna-
So
let's end it.
we'll stay tuned for next time, and we'll catch you.
Oh. on the flip side.
Next week.
Next week. Well, I don't know.
Hola, mi amigos.
Okay, so that does it for today's podcast with KC Mack from Mack Provisions. Make sure if something spoke to you and you wanted to buy something from KC, check out mackprovisions.com. Or you can check him out on Instagram at Mack Provisions. And the guy's got a really cool Instagram feed. I'm just going through it right now. And he does a really good job with leather and everything. So check it out and make sure to give him some love and let him know what you thought of the podcast. Now, right now, cutandcaliber.com is down. We are reworking the site to kind of make it more podcast friendly and do a couple of extra things. So if you want to hit us up, check out our Instagram at cutandcaliber. And you can find us there. But other than that, thank you for listening to this podcast, and we'll see you next week.